Cheeseburger. The cheeseburger arrived with enough controversy that someone actually tried to legally own it. In 1935, a cook named Lionel Sternberger in Pasadena, California, is widely credited with laying a slice of American cheese onto a beef patty while it was still on the grill, letting the heat do the rest. Louisville, Kentucky disputes that claim entirely. What nobody disputes is what happened next. The combination spread through American diners so fast that within 2 decades, it had become the default image of American food worldwide. The melting cheese was not decorative. It added fat, salt, and a creamy layer that made the beef taste richer than it ever did alone. Every fast food chain on earth now builds its menu around some version of it. Buffalo wings. Chicken wings spent most of their early history being thrown away or sold for almost nothing. Butchers considered them low-value cuts with too little meat to bother with. That changed in 1964 at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York, where owner Teresa Bellissimo deep-fried a batch and tossed them in a mixture of hot sauce and melted butter. The butter did something important. It emulsified into the hot sauce, meaning instead of a thin liquid that dripped off, the coating became thick, glossy, and clingy enough to stay on the wing through every bite. The combination of crunch, heat, and fat turned a throwaway cut into a cultural phenomenon. The United States now consumes over 1 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday alone. Corn dog. The corn dog solved a practical problem that nobody had formally identified. Selling hot sausages at outdoor fairs and markets meant dealing with plates, utensils, and customers standing with no surface to eat from. Cornmeal batter fixed all of that at once. The sausage went onto a wooden stick, got dipped into thick batter, and dropped into hot oil. The batter had to be dense enough to grip the sausage and hold its shape the instant it hit the oil. Otherwise, it would slide off before setting. Texas vendors at state fairs in the 1940s are most consistently credited with the format. Today, the corn dog is sold frozen in nearly every grocery store in America and replicated at fairs across dozens of countries worldwide. Ranch dressing. Ranch dressing was not the creation of a chef or a food scientist. Steve Henson was a plumber who moved to Alaska in the early 1950s to work construction and started making a buttermilk and herb dressing for his work crew. When he and his wife later opened a guest ranch in Santa Barbara County, California in 1954, the dressing became the main reason visitors kept coming back. Guests began asking to take packets home. Henson started selling it as a dry mix through the mail. Hidden Valley Ranch became a packaged product, then a national brand, then the single most purchased salad dressing in the United States. Americans now spend over $1 billion on ranch dressing annually, and it has expanded far beyond salads into dips, pizza sauces, and seasoning powders. Philly cheesesteak. The cheesesteak began not in a restaurant, but at a street cart. Pat Olivieri, a hot dog vendor in Philadelphia, reportedly threw some beef on his grill for his own lunch one afternoon in the early 1930s. A passing taxi driver smelled it, asked for one, and told other drivers. Within a short time, Olivieri had opened a shop. The beef must be shaved extremely thin so it cooks in seconds on a flat iron griddle without drying out. The roll has to be soft enough to compress when pressed together without splitting apart. The cheese debate has never been settled. Provolone, American, and Cheese Whiz each have loyal supporters in Philadelphia, and ordering the wrong one in the wrong neighborhood remains a genuine social risk. Potato chip. The potato chip origin story is one of the most repeated in American food history, but the underlying science is what actually made it work. Whether or not a frustrated chef in Saratoga Springs, New York, invented it in 1853 as a response to a complaining customer, what matters is what happens when a very thin slice of potato hits very hot oil. The water inside the potato evaporates so rapidly that it essentially escapes as steam before any sogginess can develop, leaving behind a dry, rigid structure that shatters instead of bending. That same rapid moisture removal is what every chip manufacturer in the world still relies on today. The global potato chip industry is now worth over $30 billion and continues growing every year. Hot dog. The sausage inside a hot dog traces its lineage to Frankfurt, Germany, and Vienna, Austria simultaneously, and both cities spent centuries arguing over which one deserves credit. What neither city invented was the American version. The soft split bun that wraps the sausage in the United States format was developed by vendors at baseball parks and street fairs in the late 1800s, reportedly because customers kept burning their hands holding the sausage directly. The bun solved that problem and added a vehicle for mustard and relish at the same time. Ballpark hot dogs are typically steamed rather than grilled, which makes them swell slightly and develop a soft, plump texture that grilling cannot replicate. They remain the highest volume food sold at American sporting events every single summer.